Hello. Today's episode number 57 of the Professor Slots podcast is an annual review of slots manufacturer International Game Technology, PLC. Plus, in this episode, I'll be covering the current state of slot machine casino gambling in the great U.S. states of Vermont and Virginia. Thank you for joining me for the Professor Slots podcast show. I'm John Friedel, and this is the podcast about slot machine casino gambling. It is where I provide knowledge, insights, and tools for helping you improve your slot machine gambling performance. In case you missed it, on my last episode, I went over how to start your own recreational gambling podcast. Further, I reviewed the U.S. Virgin Islands and Utah slot machine casino gambling in 2019. I hope you enjoyed listening to my last episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Remember to visit professorslots.com/subscribe to get your free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Let's start with the first segment of the show, International Game Technology PLC 2019. International Game Technology PLC, sometimes referred to as IGT PLC, filed their most recent annual financial report with the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission, the SEC, on March 8, 2019. IGT is one of the largest gaming manufacturers in the world. I review IGT's annual financial report for valuable insights each year. I do this for all our interest in IGT, from slot machine manufacturer to their casino operating systems. Why? Because knowledge of significant changes and trends in the gaming industry allows us a glimpse into the future of slot machine gambling in the U.S. and abroad. This segment has the following sections. 1. An introduction. 2. Overall risk factors for IGT PLC. 3. Overview of slots manufacturer IGT PLC. 4. Lottery. 5. Machine gaming. 6. Sports betting. 7. Digital. 8. Commercial services. And 9. A summary. Every company's annual SEC report has the legal requirement of providing easy-to-read statements. These reports include details of the company's financial performance, as well as an important element for you and I, their so-called forward-looking statements. Reviewing these forward-looking statements allows you and I to learn from the best minds in the business. We discover all their thoughts on the current condition and immediate future of the gaming industry. Each year around mid-March, slots manufacturer International Game Technology PLC files their annual financial report for the previous calendar year. Because IGT is an international company with its headquarters not based in the U.S., this annual report is a Form 20-F rather than the more usual Form 10-Q for U.S.-based companies. I mention these form numbers so you know which to look for. Companies generate a lot of financial reports every year for various reasons, but a Form 20-F is what you want. Look for it on either the SEC website or at IGT PLC's webpage for investor relations. IGT's Form 20-F for the fiscal year 2018 is available for download at Investor Relations. It's only 175 pages this year, down from 267 pages last year. The bulk of the report is many tables of standard financial data, as well as other necessary sections which are not the focus of this episode segment. Again, our focus is their forward-looking statements, all easy to read as required by the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. These statements include known and specific economic and political risks to IGT, but not as a profit forecast. IGT intends to provide a clear understanding for investors of the current financial condition of their company within the context of a global market. Let's start reviewing them. At first glance, IGT has some interesting overall concerns. A new risk this year comes from its largest shareholder. IGT now has a single shareholder owning over 50% of the stock. As of February 28, 2019, DeGastini controls the company with its economic interest of 50.64%. As majority shareholder, DeGastini may make decisions which all other stockholders may disagree. The power of majority stockholder includes influencing a change of control and different business combinations, such as potential mergers, consolidation, and takeover. While DeGastini now has a 50.64% controlling interest in IGT, they also have a group of other stockholders loyal to them. DeGastini is even more than a controlling shareholder because of this additional loyalty voting structure. Altogether, they control 67.23% of the total voting rights. The risks associated with having a controlling stockholder with the support of other stockholders is uncertainty. What will these stockholders decide to do with the direction of the company? With more than two-thirds control, there is much they could do. There's also uncertainty regarding the tax consequences of a loyalty voting structure. No guidance exists which directly addresses this situation. Details are on page 18 of the report. Other risk factors relative to the economic risks of doing business globally include, but are not limited to, new tariffs, high interest rates, severe natural events disrupting operations. Political risks include political instability, change in regulations and enforcement policies, political unrest, such as war or acts of terrorism. Specifically called out in the financial report is uncertainty due to the United Kingdom's exit of the European Union, that is to say Brexit. IGT is based in Italy, a member of the EU, but the company is headquartered in London, meaning it has a significant business presence in the UK. Brexit is a less than ideal situation for IGT. Another risk to the company is a large customer base in certain business segments, such as 34.9% of the company revenues coming through the Gaming Control Commission of Italy. IGT depends on this income revenue. If Italy makes significant changes to its gaming regulations, this dependence may negatively impact IGT revenue and profits. Similarly, IGT's top 10 customers outside of Italy accounted for 17.5% of its total revenues in 2018. This dependence could result in company revenue reduction, business, prospects, and operations if IGT loses any one of these significant customers. More year-to-year potential business risks include 1. Penalties for failure to perform obligations of current contracts. 2. Inability to complete and integrate future acquisitions for future growth. 3. Lower revenues due to a slowdown in the lottery and gaming markets. 4. Reduced demand and level of play due to changes in social mores. 5. Being unable to protect intellectual property, which may harm its ability to compete. 6. Inability to license intellectual property from third parties to compete in the market. 7. Third-party intellectual property infringement claims against IGT. 8. Adverse effects of a highly competitive environment. These include A. Proliferation of gaming destinations, including online. B. Aggressive price competition from other enterprises to gain market share. C. Legal challenges to awarding significant contracts. D. Consolidation among gaming equipment and technology companies, allowing them to better compete through increased scale and efficiency. E. Entry of new competitors into the internet gaming market due to low costs of entry. F. Consolidation among casino operators with capital spending cutbacks. G. Less overall leisure time and discretionary spending by players creates other forms of entertainment as competition. 9. Inability to develop and manage frequent introductions of innovative products and respond to technological changes in the gaming industry. 10. The illegal gaming market negatively affects business. 11. The use of social media, including negative commentary. Legal and compliance risks include 1. Changing enforcement of the U.S. Interstate Wire Act of 1961. 2. Extensive and complex governmental regulations as applied to operations. 3. Investigations of gaming jurisdictions due to adverse fines or negative publicity. 4. Failure to comply with the EU General Data Protection Regulations, the GDPR. 5. Increased gaming regulations due to negative perceptions and publicity. 6. Risk exposure to compliance with anti-corruption laws and regulations. 7. Recent and future changes to U.S. and foreign tax laws. 8. Unfavorable outcome to pending legal proceedings. Other areas include operational and financial risks. These risks include attracting, retaining, and motivating IGT personnel in a competitive market. Further, hazards include maintaining their supply chain, cybersecurity, and failures of business technology. If IGT seems familiar to you, they should be. Perhaps you've seen a few of the 343 versions of their popular Wheel of Fortune slot machines, but they also provide more. We are interested in their slot machine manufacturing business. Of course we are. But IGT also provides other business solutions for the gaming industry of which we should be aware. IGT's software operating systems control slot machines in a casino from a central computer server. Further, their lottery distribution systems are relevant to those states with video lottery systems, VLTs. International Game Technology plc has its headquarters in London, with facilities in Providence, Las Vegas, and Rome. IGT's over 12,000 employees at the end of 2018 remains roughly at the same number since the end of 2016. The company's portfolio of products and services include 1. Lottery, 2. Management services, 3. Online and instant lottery systems, 4. Instant ticket printing, 5. Electronic gaming machines, 6. Sports betting, 7. Digital, 8. Gaming, 9. Commercial services. IGT's 4 corporate business segments are North America Gaming and Interactive, NAGI, with $1 billion in revenue, North America Lottery, NALO, with $1.2 billion in revenue, International, with $820 million in revenue, and Italy, with $1.8 billion in revenue. From their balance sheet, International Game Technology plc has total assets of just over $13.6 billion and total equity of $2.75 billion, attributable to IGT plc. Total revenue in 2018 was $4.81 billion. Since the end of 2017, total assets decreased by 10%, while total equity increased by nearly 17%. Revenue dropped only 2.2%. International Game Technology plc began in 2014, although it was initially the shell company Georgia Worldwide Limited for its first 7 months of existence. The parent company name change occurred after purchasing the original International Game Technology from G-Tech. No public takeovers have occurred before 2019. International Game Technology plc has 5 categories of products and services. 1. Lottery, 2. Machine gaming, 3. Sports betting, 4. Interactive and social gaming, and 5. Commercial services. I'll go over each of these. Lottery. IGT plc has more than 100 lottery system customers worldwide, including with 37 of the 45 U.S. lotteries. The company supports over 450,000 lottery devices worldwide and provides secure processing systems capable of up to 500,000 transactions per minute. Lottery services from IGT plc include licenses and facilities management contracts, lottery management agreements, instant ticket printing contracts, product sales and services contracts. Most of the company's revenue comes from licenses and management contracts. These contracts include designing, installing, and operating the lottery system and retail terminal network for 5 to 10 years. Contract extension options are for 1 to 5 years. Many contracts include providing additional services for instant lottery ticket games, such as marketing, automated validation, inventory, and accounting. In return, IGT plc gets either a fixed fee or a percentage of sales on all instant ticket games. IGT plc also gains revenue from lottery management, agreements based on lottery game performance metrics, as well as a percentage of ticket sales. Deals include lottery systems and day-to-day activities along the lottery supply chain. These activities can be 1. Collecting wagers, 2. Managing accounting office functions, 3. Running advertising and promotions, 4. Operating data transmission networks and processing centers, 5. Training staff, 6. Assisting retailers, and 7. Supplying games materials. Instant ticket contracts provide revenue based on a fixed price per ticket or a percentage of ticket sales. Printing contracts last 2 to 5 years with contract extension options. Government-sponsored contracts may be either exclusive or non-exclusive. A primary contract results in a complete end-to-end production process from concept development to production and shipment. Such agreements include supporting marketing and research. If a secondary contract, printing functions as a backup service and alternate product source. International Game Technology plc invested in a state-of-the-art printing press, which became operational in February of 2018. By early 2019, IGT plc had instant ticket printing contracts with 27 U.S. states and 25 customers in international jurisdictions. Product sales and services contracts include constructing, selling, delivering, and installing lottery systems and equipment, along with related services and software. In these contracts, the lottery authority is responsible for lottery operations. IGT plc also provides equipment and services contracts to expand existing lottery systems. Case-by-case negotiations determine the revenue from sales and services. IGT PLC's primary competitors for lottery systems include Camelot, Intralot, Pollard, Sazka, Sissel, Scientific Games, and Tattersales. Machine Gaming. International Game Technology PLC's machine gaming business category is all about slot machines, including their design, development, manufacturing, and distribution. Revenue from regulated gaming markets includes fixed fee, participation, and product sales contracts. IGT PLC's holds more than 450 global gaming licenses. Machine gaming includes physical hardware such as slots, cabinets, and electronic systems, such as the operating software with its game theme. IGT PLC's primary competitors for machine gaming include Aristocrat, Konami, Novomatic, and Scientific Games. International Game Technology PLC offers machine gaming products and services, which includes gaming machines and game content, video lottery terminals, VLTs, and amusement with prize machines, AWPs, and gaming management systems. Physical gaming machine cabinets provide land-based casino operators with maximum functionality, flexibility, and player comfort. Developed game themes match local gaming regulations, market dynamics, and player preferences. Overall, IGT PLC designs gaming products for player appeal and entertainment. IGT PLC's games are either premium games or core games. Premium games are two types of progressive slot machines, wide area and multi-level. Wide area progressives are machines linked across several casinos or jurisdictions. Multi-level progressives link to other machines within the casino, as well as offers different levels of jackpots. Core games are non-progressive machines. These machines are slots with a video reel, slots with a mechanical reel, or video poker machines. Core machines are usually sold, but occasionally leased. Other types of games include centrally determined games, Class 2 games, and random number generated and live dealer electronic table games. Centrally determined games are games connected to a central server which determines the game outcome. Class 2 games are electronic video bingo games found in tribal casinos as well as South Africa. Electronic table games include Baccarat and Roulette. IGT PLC's machine gaming revenue primarily comes from premium, that is to say progressive, game content, and cabinets. Service fees include percent wagered, net win, or fixed daily fee. International Game Technology PLC offers video lottery terminals, VLT central systems, and VLT games worldwide. The company also offers amusement for prize machines, AWPs, low-denominational gaming machines, at retail outlets in Italy and Europe. Casino management systems offered by IGT PLC are comprehensive. IGT PLC offers infrastructure systems and applications for all areas of the casino, including casino management, customer relationship management, patron management, and service-based gaming. The casino operating systems include customized applications for player messaging, tournament management, and integrated marketing and business intelligence modules. These modules include analytical, predictive, and management tools for maximizing casino operational effectiveness. The server-based applications include electronic game delivery and configuration of slot machines. These solutions allow casino operators the opportunity to increase profits. Why? Because with these tools, casinos can enhance the player experience, including by connecting players interactively. This enhancement creates operational efficiencies for the casino and therefore higher gaming revenue. How? Because casino operators are now able to advertise to patrons with in-screen messaging while they are playing a slot machine. Casino management systems include providing two mobile solutions. First, IGT PLC offers an app to players, which allows a cardless players club loyalty program. Rather than receiving promotional offers by email or mail flyer, players can receive comp offers via smartphone notification. This solution provides casino operators with instantaneous and direct access to players. The second mobile solution is for casino employees. This application drives casino efficiencies by improving casino floor monitoring and decreasing response time to player needs. 3 solutions exist for various needs, including mobile apps for hosts, slot attendants, and floor managers. As I'd also mentioned in last year's review post, IGT PLC clearly states these gaming management systems are for, quote, maximizing casino operational effectiveness with opportunities to increase profits, end quote. See page 23 of the report. For slot machines, increasing casino profits means controlling the odds of winning. If they had meant to say increasing gameplay, they would have. They didn't. By that single word choice, profits instead of gameplay, they signal to casino operators what they are offering. Sometimes, in addition to analyzing statements provided, it is worth considering what is missing. Yes, something is missing from this annual financial report when compared to last year's report. What's missing from this financial report is any mention of real-time business analytics. Last year, it was there. This year, it's gone. In other episodes, I have discussed how difficult it would be to have real-time business analytics. These reports are accurate to the best of their knowledge. That's a legal requirement. If they took out the wording about real-time business analytics, it's because they can't do it. IGT Plc can't mislead customers that way in annual financial reports submitted to the SEC without getting into serious trouble. I have no doubt they are fast, but fast is not the same as real-time. Some of my winning slot strategies depend upon casinos not yet using real-time analytics. Once they do become real-time, it'll negatively impact one or two of my strategies, perhaps significantly so. Someday, a slots manufacturer will achieve real-time analytics. When that happens, we'll have to look for a replacement advantage to win at slots, but today is not that day. Sports betting. The company category for sports betting products and services is new this year to International Game Technology Plc. Sports betting was a minor business opportunity as reported in last year's annual report. Why? Because IGT Plc earned little revenue for sports betting in Italy and Europe. This year, it's a major business category because the U.S. sports betting market has gotten underway. In May of 2018, the U.S. Supreme Court removed the federal ban on sports betting. However, any gaming activity, including sports betting, requires appropriate state gaming regulations. Some states prepared for the lifting of the sports betting ban. Other states are still working on updating their gaming regulations. In any case, the International Game Technology Plc is ready for them. IGT Plc's sports betting customers include Betfred, DraftKings, and MGM Resorts International. The company's primary sports betting services competitors include Bet365, Betfair/Paddy Power, Eurobet, Sissel, Schneetek, and William Hill. Digital. Last year, the digital category of product and services from International Game Technology Plc was called interactive and social gaming. Such iGaming enables gameplay via the internet for real money, interactive gaming, or for fun, social gaming. IGT Plc designs, manufactures, and distributes products, systems, and services for interactive gaming. They also have 20 digital gaming licenses worldwide, with a minimum presence in the U.S. Social gaming solutions are in partnership with W Games. Being social gaming, players spend real money but cannot win it. By many interpretations of gaming, social gaming is not gambling and therefore not illegal. IGT Plc is a mostly business-to-business provider of their digital products and services. Italy is the exception, where the company acts as both an internet gaming operator as well as a mobile casino operator. The competitors to digital products and services are from other operators, including 888 Holdings, bwin.party, Playtech Plc, and Microgaming. Competitors in the digital space from other gaming suppliers include Scientific Games Corporation. Commercial services. Because of their in-depth knowledge of lottery technologies, International Game Technology Plc offers innovative commercial services. These products and services leverage their distribution and secure transaction networks. With this infrastructure in place, the company offers high-volume processing of commercial transactions, including prepaid cellular telephone recharges, bill payments, e-voucher and retail-based programs, electronic tax payments, stamp duty services, prepaid car recharges, and money transfers. These business services are primarily outside of the U.S. and Canada. In Italy, tobacco shops, bars, petrol stations, newspaper stands, and motorway restaurants commonly use these commercial retail services. Summary. International Game Technology Plc is a world leader in the gaming industry, including slot machine manufacturing of physical cabinets and game themes. By reviewing IGT Plc's latest annual financial report, we learned of company risks from their forward-looking statements. This financial report for the fiscal year 2018 has taught us that IGT Plc has a single stockholder, D'Agostini, with a 50.64% controlling interest in the company. Combined with other stockholders, DeAgostini leads a group having astonishing 67.23% control over total voting rights. This company takeover is indeed a risk well worth knowing about. I hadn't yet started this podcast when I reviewed their fiscal year 2015 financial report, but the next two reviews became podcast episodes number 17 and 39, if you're interested in going back to listen to them, perhaps again. Whether you've heard or read my previous annual reviews of IGT, much has remained the same over the last 3 years. We expect little to no change to $10 billion companies. Change is hard, like changing the direction of a massive ship at sea. But change can happen. Or to keep the ship metaphor, that massive ship at sea has a new captain. Or better yet, an influential passenger who now gets to tell the captain what to do. That poor captain. The most important bit of information we've learned in this review, completely new, is that group of stockholders who have taken a controlling interest. Yes, one stockholder has just over 50% control. That's DeAgostini. But DeAgostini is aided by another 17% of stockholder votes, so any changes needing the 67% controlling interest must be something of a group decision. And there my mind boggles. What might such a group do to the company? To start, according to my reading of the financial report, they can prevent another such change in control of the company. This group can make sure they stay in control. They can block anyone else from doing what they did. It's reasonable to assume that they will. So these controlling stockholders have some time. What might they do? What would be in their interest to do? Well, answering these questions means finding out who they are. Who is DeAgostini anyway? Well, first of all, the company name is DeAgostini S.P.A. I've run a quick internet search on DeAgostini S.P.A. This company has a Wikipedia article about them. It's a family-owned private company founded in 1901. It's an Italian holding company which operates 3 publishing, communications, and financial investment businesses. It got its start in the 1900s with world maps. Their initial success combined a pocket calendar with world maps. They're big into radio, television, new media, films, publishing magazines in 13 languages. The Wikipedia article is definitely out of date, in part as it doesn't mention gaming. Their company website, however, has added a 4th business area after publishing, media, and finance. They've added gaming and services to that list. Okay, that's interesting. It isn't the DeAgostini family that owns this holding company. Yes, it's a family-owned private company, but the family part is actually 2 families. DeAgostini S.P.A. is controlled by B&D Holding S.P.A., a joint stock company entirely owned by the Baroli and Drago families. Baroli took control of the company in 1919, along with the Rossi family. Rossi dropped out in 1946. In 1959, they became famous for their world's most complete geographical encyclopedia, and it was only in 1997 that the Drago family became partners. Okay, this is interesting and somewhat reassuring. The original IGT was owned by GTech before being acquired by a company that would quickly change its name to International Game Technology Plc. Guess who was the owner of GTech? That's right, DeAgostini. They acquired GTech in 2006 and owned it until 2014. DeAgostini has already owned the first IGT company for 8 years. I haven't dug back 5 years to learn what the merger agreement included. Annual financial reports usually include such details after they happen, but there's no doubt this is where DeAgostini picked up much of the 50-some% interest in the company. I'm reassured by this. Not only did they once run the original IGT when it was part of GTech, they've been a significant stockholder since IGT PLC has been running the show. I guess my last question is, how did IGT PLC manage to let DeAgostini gain controlling interests? Oh, I see. It's those other shareholders with 17.5% of voting rights. They must have voted with DeAgostini's less than 50% interest to get them that greater than 50% controlling interest. I guess this means DeAgostini owes them? Big time, I think. I guess that's why the financial report calls those stockholders with a combined 17.5% interest in the company as a loyalty voting structure. What did we learn from this additional analysis only found in this podcast episode? Evidence suggests things won't go poorly for International Game Technology PLC over this next year. Of course, we'll need to check the financial report, which comes out in early March 2020, unless we keep an eye on the company's stock in the meantime. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is the second segment of the show on slot machine casino gambling. Here I provide a brief overview of the current state of gambling in 2 U.S. states, territories, or federal district, emphasizing by far anything of interest to slot machine casino gamblers. Up first is Vermont slot machine casino gambling in 2019. Here goes. Vermont slot machine casino gambling does not exist. This state has no casinos or racetracks. Vermont's gambling laws prohibit professional gambling while allowing nonprofit and fraternal organizations to operate games of chance. However, casino options are available across its state and international borders. These locations include Quebec, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and New York. The minimum legal gambling age in Vermont depends upon the gambling activity. For charitable fundraisers, it's 21. For bingo and the lottery, it's 18. And for poker rooms and pari-mutuel wagering, it's not available. The state explicitly prohibits slot machines and all other mechanical gambling devices. Under state law, only qualified nonprofit and fraternal organizations can operate games of chance in Vermont. All games of chance proceeds must be for charitable, religious, educational, or civil undertakings. Limitations include only 1 casino night per calendar month for each organization. The frequency limitation for bingo, raffles, and lotteries is twice per week, and for 3 consecutive days, twice per year. Furthermore, political organizations can offer raffles. However, any proceeds must be consistent with the purpose of the party. Next up is a usually short statement about slot machine private ownership, which I've included in case you live in this U.S. state and are considering owning a slot machine. Here it is. In Vermont, it is legal to privately own a slot machine if manufactured before 1954. Vermont does not have a gaming control commission. However, the Office of the Vermont Attorney General answers common questions about Vermont gambling laws. The Vermont Lottery Commission regulates the state lottery. There are no casinos or racetracks in Vermont. Vermont has 3 state-recognized American Indian tribes. However, none of them are federally recognized tribes. Consequently, Vermont has no tribal casinos. As an alternative to enjoying slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. Bordering Vermont is to the north, the Canadian province of Quebec, to the east, New Hampshire, to the south, Massachusetts, and to the west, New York. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states, simply visit ProfessorSlots.com followed by its 2-letter postal designation. For example, my New Hampshire slots article is available at ProfessorSlots.com/NH. Are you interested in sharing and learning with other slots enthusiasts? If so, join our new slots community on Facebook. All you'll need is a Facebook profile to freely join this closed Facebook group. Enter this URL for Vermont, ProfessorSlots.com/FBVT. You can join any of my 56 slots communities by using ProfessorSlots.com/FB for Facebook, followed by any 2-letter U.S. postal designation. Or just search Facebook for the state, territory, or federal district, followed by slot machine casino gamblers. There, you'll be able to privately share your slots experiences, as well as chat with other players about slots gambling. Come join us. Vermont does not allow slot machines or other gambling devices or have a state gaming commission. Neither does Vermont have tribal casinos. Therefore, there are no legal limits for payout returns. Furthermore, payout return statistics for Vermont are also not applicable. Vermont is another state where there are no casinos. With casinos coming to Virginia, the pressure is likely building in Vermont to figure out a way to introduce casinos. Whatever or whenever casinos begin in Vermont, as with other states, it will likely happen fast. First commercial casinos, then tribal casinos. As they do not have racetracks, Vermont will have to build gaming facilities rather than expanding existing sites. Even if authorized, it can take several years just to build a large facility, and figuring out the right gaming regulations takes a while before that. And before state-established gaming regulations, the legislature needs to decide if residents want gaming. Other states have offered a referendum to voters to get their approval, and before the vote comes the proposal to have a vote, often sponsored by interested parties. And finally, before the proposal is years of lobbying of state legislators by potential casino operators. This process is not the same in every state, but it's typical. If it applies to Vermont, my question is this. Do you know if Vermont legislators are being lobbied to propose a voting referendum to authorize the state gaming commission? Vermont slot machine casino gambling does not exist. It has no casinos or parimutuel wagering racetracks. The state explicitly prohibits slot machines and other mechanical gambling devices. Nonprofit and fraternal organizations can offer limited games of chance fundraising events. Vermont has had a state lottery since 1978. Otherwise, casino options exist across Vermont's state and international borders. There has been no change in Vermont's gaming industry over the last year. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is the second state comprising this episode segment, Virginia slot machine casino gambling in 2019. Here goes. Virginia slot machine casino gambling does not exist. However, significant progress has occurred to have casinos in Virginia. Currently, parimutuel wagering is legal. One such facility has historic horse racing, HHR, electronic gaming machines. In March 2019, Virginia's legislature approved establishing casino gambling in their state. However, among other requirements, city residents will still need to approve any local casinos via referendum. These referenda begin in November 2020. The legal gambling age in Virginia depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos, it's expected to be 21. For bingo, the lottery, and parimutuel wagering, it's 18. For poker rooms, it's not available. On March 22, 2019, Virginia Governor Ralph Northam signed SB 1126 into law. This state law does not authorize casinos in Virginia. However, in effect, it establishes 1. A commission to study casino gaming regulations, 2. A framework for the lottery board to oversee gaming, and 3. How eligible cities conduct a local casino approval referendum. Regarding timing, the first city referendum will occur as early as November 2020. Details of the state bill suggest eligible cities are Danville, Bristol, and Portsmouth. Regarding slot machine private ownership, it is legal to own a slot machine in the Commonwealth of Virginia privately. The gaming control commissions in this state are the Virginia Racing Commission and the over 30-year-old Virginia Lottery. The framework included in the 2019 passing of the Virginia State Bill 1126 includes giving oversight of sports betting regulations to the Virginia Racing Commission. This expansion of its responsibilities is in addition to its current responsibilities overseeing horse race parimutuel wagering. The Virginia Lottery Board will obtain responsibility for casino gambling, but specific gaming regulations are unknown. Establishing these gaming regulations is currently underway by Virginia's Joint Legislative and Review Commission. There are currently no casinos with slot machines in Virginia. However, 3 eligible cities may have casinos as early as late 2020 if approved by voters. In part, localities are available to host the casino if they currently have significant economic difficulties. These 3 potential casino locations include the cities of Danville, located 144 miles southwest of Richmond, near North Carolina; Bristol, located 113 miles northeast of Knoxville, near Tennessee; and Portsmouth, located 97 miles southeast of Richmond, near Chesapeake. The Pamunkey Indian tribe gained federal recognition in 2015 and is pursuing establishing a tribal casino. They intend to have improved educational and employment opportunities to ensure the long-term success of the tribe. At this time, the tribe is searching for a suitable site for a casino resort located within Virginia. Potential sites for a tribal casino now include Richmond and Norfolk. However, continually and effectively opposing tribal casinos in Virginia is the casino operator of MGM National Harbor in nearby Maryland. As an alternative to enjoying Virginia slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. Bordering Virginia is to the north, Maryland and the District of Columbia; to the east, the Atlantic Ocean; to the south, North Carolina and Tennessee; and to the west, Kentucky and West Virginia. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states, simply visit ProfessorSlots.com followed by its 2-letter postal designation. For example, my Maryland slots article is available at ProfessorSlots.com/MD. Otherwise, Virginia currently offers horse racing, simulcasting, and off-track betting at Riverboat on the Potomac, OTB, in Colonial Beach on the Potomac River, located 33 miles east of Colonial Fredericksburg. Colonial Downs Racetrack is a horse racing facility located in the eastern part of Virginia, located 30 miles east of Richmond. It offers slot-like historic horse racing, HHR, electronic gaming machines. Are you interested in sharing and learning with other slots enthusiasts? If so, join our new slots communities on Facebook. All you'll need is a Facebook profile to freely join this closed Facebook group. Enter the URL for Virginia, professorslots.com/FBVA. You can join any of my 56 slots communities by using professorslots.com/FB for Facebook, followed by any 2 letters U.S. postal designation, or just search Facebook for the state, territory, or federal district, followed by Slot Machine Casino Gamblers. There, you'll be able to privately share your slots experiences as well as chat with players about slots gambling in your state. Come join us. As Virginia does not yet have slot machines, it has no payout return limits or statistics. Virginia slot machine casino gambling does not exist, but it is now on the horizon. Perhaps as soon as November 2020, non-tribal casinos in 3 cities may receive approval. Otherwise, 2 other towns may potentially receive a tribal casino. In March 2019, Virginia's legislature approved establishing a Gaming Control Commission, casino gambling, expanding its state lottery, online gambling, and sports betting. For casinos, city residents will need to vote to approve any near them beginning in November 2020. Otherwise, Colonial Downs Racetrack, located east of Richmond, has reopened as expected. Remember to visit professorslots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Part 1 of the next episode of the Professor Slots podcast is not yet determined. It's likely to be something useful about tribal casinos or a review of someone else's slots-related YouTube video. To suggest a topic or ask a question which might end up as a blog article or in a podcast episode, email it to john@professorslots.com, where John is spelled Jon, or by calling 702-90-SLOTS to leave a voicemail. Part 2 of the next episode of the Professor Slots podcasts are more brief overviews of the current state of gambling in 2 U.S. states, territories, or federal district. Next time, I'll be talking to you about the great U.S. states of Washington and West Virginia. That's the end of another great episode of the Professor Slots podcast. Thanks so much for listening. Show notes for this episode are now available within most podcast apps, but are also available on my website at professorslots.com/E57. I plan to have the next episode come out very soon for you, where I'll have more amazing content for the show. Until the next episode, have fun, be safe, and make good choices. Bye.